Math 8, Unit 4, Lesson 5, Comparing Multiple Representations of Proportional Relations. Okay, remember there's four important things about being able to find slope, and we're going to be comparing these, so you have to find the slope first, then you can compare it. In this lesson, we'll be doing a few proportional reasoning problems, and then do some comparisons. First, remember that from a table, you calculate rate of change. You first need to calculate the changes. The y's are going down by 5 and the x's are going up by 2, giving us a slope of -5 halves. So from a table, you find change in y and you find change in x, and then you divide them. If you're finding the slope from 2 points, you start with your difference quotient. You put y2 minus y1, so you put the two y's on top. I'll go ahead and put them in this order. Once you pick your order, the x's have to be in the same order. So I'll do 1 minus 3. This gives me 6 over -2, which is just -3. When we're doing slope on a graph, we do rise over run. So you do a right triangle. The rise here is 2, the run is 3. The slope rise over run is 2/3. And then if you have an equation, once it is solved for y, the slope is the number in front of your x. It is the coefficient of the x term. George is riding his bike y miles in x hours. His distance from home is modeled by the equation y equals 10x. Okay, we're going to graph this situation. Now, we don't have to use a table now that we know that the slope is 10. The slope is the number in front of x. If my slope is 10, that's up 10 over 1. So I'm going to go up 10 from the origin, up 10 and over 1, up 10 over 1, as many times as I can until I run out of space. And then I can draw my line. The y-axis should be labeled with miles, and the x-axis with hours. And this graph is done. And it says to interpret the slope. Now, interpreting the slope, interpret tells me is telling you what does it mean. 10 what? Well, in this case, it's 10 miles per hour. It's 10y per x. So it means that George is riding his bike at 10 miles per hour. That's what it means. Okay, the cost, y, measured in dollars, to spend an evening bowling is proportional to the number of games x that are bowled. If it costs $16 to bowl 4 games, write an equation that represents the situation. All right, first we need to find our slope. Our slope is the same as the unit right here. It'd be $16 for 4 games, which is a slope of 4. So the equation, y equals 4x. How much does it cost in dollars to bowl 6 games? All right, games is x. So this is x equals 6. And then we're going to plug that in to our equation, y equals 4x. So it would be 24. The answer here, of course, $24. The cost y in dollars for x pounds of deli meat is represented by the equation y equals 3.5x. Graph the equation and interpret the slope. Okay? It says y is dollars, the cost in dollars, and x is the pounds of deli meat. And I'll just do some basic numbering here. And I'll go ahead and do it this way too. All right, now we know the slope is 3.5, that's the number in front of x. So that's up 3.5 and over 1. And up 3.5 and over 1 again gets us to 2.7. Drawing a straight line to connect them, and it's graphed. Interpret the slope. Okay, the slope is 3.5, and what it means is $3.5 per pound. It means that deli meat, probably should capitalize that since it is going to be a sentence. Deli meat costs $3.50 a pound. Okay. the number of pancakes, y, is proportional to the cups of pancake mix, x, that is used to make the pancake batter. The pancake batter will make 10 pancakes when 2 cups of pancake mix is used. Write an equation to represent the situation. Well, 10 pancakes require 2 cups of mix, so that's 5 cups of 5 pancakes per cup. So it's going to be y equals 5x. How many pancakes are made if 5 cups of pancake mix are used to make the pancake batter? Okay, cups of mix is x, so we would get 5 times 5, because it's 5 pancakes per cup, and we end up with 25 pancakes for 5 cups of pancake mix. Okay, now we're getting into the comparison part. Which line has a greater rate of change? Now, rate of change is just another way of saying slope. So we just need to compare the slopes here. The slope of A is 3. The slope of line B, well, we'll have to do our up and over. It's rise 3, run 2. So the slope of line B is 3/2. A slope of 3 is greater than a slope of 3/2. So line A has the greater rate of change. Which person has a greater wage? We've got Jethro, whose information is in a table, Gorby, who delivers car parts for 5 hours and is paid $48, and Joey, whose information is represented in the table. We're going to have to find the slopes of all of these so we can make the comparison. So starting with Jethro, it looks like he increases by $27 every 3 hours. $27 in 3 hours is $9 per hour. Gorby makes $48 in 5 hours. That's 9.6. So Gorby's making $9.60 per hour. And Joey, it looks like in 5 hours, Joey made $40. So we've got up 40 and over 5. And 40 over 5 is 8. So Joey is making $8 per hour. And now we just make a comparison between them. Jethro's $9 an hour, Gorby is $9.60 an hour, and Joey is $8 per hour. Well, the biggest number there is $9.60. So Gorby has the greater wage. He makes the most money per hour of the 3 of them. Which person has a car with better gas mileage? We've got Jeremiah, Sammy, and Lorena. We're just going to have to find the slopes on these and compare them. Jeremiah looks like in 5 hours goes 120 miles, or not 5 hours, 5 gallons, 120 miles. 120 miles in 5 gallons is, what is that? 24 miles per gallon. Sammy can go 300 miles on 12 gallons, and that comes out to be 25 miles per gallon. And Lorena, it looks like on this one, if I check 84 over 4 and 168 over 8, they both end up being the same thing, 21. So it works because this one's proportional. This is 21 miles per gallon. So which one's the best rate? 24, 25, or 21? Well, 25 miles per gallon is the best gas mileage, so that would be Sammy. Which teacher requires the least amount of time to plan for a sub? Well, we've got Dr. Mole. It looks like Dr. Mole for 1 day being gone needs 2 hours to plan for a sub, so that's 2 hours planning time per day. Dr. Badger is absent from school. He gets a sub. It takes him 1.5 hours of planning for each day he's gone, so that's 1.5 hours per day he's gone. And then Mr. Fox, when he's gone 1 day, it takes him 1.75 hours per day. And we can just pick that right out of the table because it's a proportional relationship. And the one that takes the least amount of time is Dr. Badger. He only takes 1.5 hours per day he's gone. Which fundraiser raised the most money per item or service? Justify your answer. All right, we've got the fundraising profits from washing cars and the fundraising profits from making loaves of bread at a bake sale. For the fundraiser, it looks like $15 for 2 car washes is $7.50 per car wash. And loaves of bread, 5 loaves of bread make $30. So that's $6 per loaf of bread, or $6 each. The one that makes the most per item is the car wash. So if you're going to try to raise money for something, car wash is probably better because bread takes a lot of time and effort and supplies to make. 2 laser tag arenas charge patrons to play in their facility. Which laser tag arena charges more? Justify your answer. Okay, it looks like at Extreme Laser, 30 minutes is $5, 60 minutes is $10, etc. At Tag Your It Laser, here's an hour, and here, well, 2 hours is kind of off the graph. It looks like at Tag Your It Laser, you can get 1 hour for $8. So it's $8 per hour at Tag Your It. Extreme Laser, it looks like 1 hour is $10. So $10 per hour at Extreme Laser. Now 10 is bigger than 8, so Extreme Laser does charge more because it's a bigger amount. All right, in your practice, on 1 you're making a comparison between 3 different people in a race. We've got Kyle, he's got an equation, and Casey is the graph, and Kimball is represented in the table. You need to find the slopes of all 3 of those and compare them. We need to put them in order of first place, second place, third place of when they will finish. Number 2, toenails are growing at 13 centimeters per year. You need to compare those to toenails. Now, or fingernails. Fingernails information is in the table. Notice that it's done by weeks. So you're probably going to want to change year to 52 weeks because there's 52 weeks in a year so that you can get the slopes and make the comparison. Number 3, you're going to graph using a T-chart. Don't forget, that's just this, and you might try 0, 1, 2, whatever, and then figure out the y's. Number 4, solve and graph the solution. When you graph here, it's going to be on the number line where you put your boundary point, and then the arrow goes bigger or smaller. Number 5, I've given you 6 different points, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and you're going to find the slope between AD, the slope between BF, and the slope from C to E. Number 6 is a unit rate problem. You're doing a proportional relationship to find the area. Actually, you're just writing the proportional relationship. This is just going to be your y equals mx once you find the unit rate or slope. Number 7 is about 2 hiking teams that are going up to 3,000 feet. Part A, which one makes it there first? Part B, if the one that makes it there first waits for the second team, how long will they have to wait? So you have to figure out the difference in the time that it takes each of them to get to 3,000 feet. Then number 8 is about ADA regulations, and handicap ramps can only be so steep according to the law. And that's it.